I think the thing I'm most proud of in implementing the return on investment process is that we were able to really collaborate with the whole team at Comal ISD. So we were able to bring in our curriculum team, our admin team, our data analysis people, as well as our business office in order to get a whole team approach to it. So I think that that really made a big difference in bringing everybody together and being successful in the process. Traditionally, I think that a lot of the work as far as what is needed and what needs to be implemented happens in a curriculum and instruction department. And sometimes that filters down to the business office at budget time when they are wanting to add 10 or 11 new staff members or some needs that they have to implement their new program. And so we're on the back end of it. And the same for our data people. So as we're going through, this now gives us a tool to have them talk about how they're going to measure success in their program up front, bring the data team in up front so that they can review what the metrics should look like, have data of where we are currently so that we have something to measure against a year from now and 2 years from now when we're looking at program success. I think as we went through, we were looking specifically at our ESSER investments. So we were kind of going back in time at some programs that we had implemented because of having ESSER funding in place. And with that funding fading away, looking at what we could keep and how we could best move forward with those investments and if they were working. And then what needed to go away because it wasn't really successful or the need doesn't exist as much now that we are through the pandemic. But how we're implementing it going forward is we've built it into our budget process. So as new investments are surfacing at budget time, we're having them go back and fill out a survey of what research is this investment based off of? What are your true needs, not just staffing needs, but the programmatic needs? What does that look like this year? What does it look like next year? And then what are your metrics? So where are you right now and how are you going to evaluate that later? So are you looking at your map data, your leading indicators going in, and then looking at your star data or your testing data at the end of the year to see how far we've come? The first step was bringing everybody together and identifying those people that we needed at the table in order to be successful. There was a little bit of work on my side to really share why we were doing it and set people at ease that this wasn't because I was trying to take away something that they had and that we were really just trying to measure the success of the program and to see if it was worth the investment to continue going forward. So our secondary academic support program was implemented because we saw a core need from our fifth grade students moving into sixth grade. Because of COVID, we were seeing reading and math scores not where they should be. And so we implemented a program to have basically co-teaching in our sixth grade classrooms for our academic reading and math students. And this provided just a way for them to get that tier 2, tier 3 education without having to have a separate elective where they were pulled from class either for tutoring or they had to give up a fun elective or something that they were interested in order to get that extra help. We have a culture of being very data driven already. And so people really wanted the data. They wanted to see if the program was successful or not. The hurdle was that this is a very people heavy investment and there are people's jobs essentially that may be repurposed if the investment wasn't successful. So you really had to convince people that we were there really to look at the success of it and that we weren't trying to just take away their positions. In the first year of implementation, it was really knowing that baseline of where our students were coming in. And then we use MAP as universal screeners throughout the process. And we also have common assessments that are taken by students throughout the year. So they're able to measure the progress of those students pretty much on a 6-week basis as they go throughout the year to try to predict where they are when it comes to taking that STAR test in April or May. From COVID to now, we've had significant turnover in staff. And so going back and trying to find the original data so that we had something to compare to, the original purpose, the original targets for not necessarily this investment, but some of our other investments was the key. I think the biggest piece is trying to embed it in your current processes. So if you can embed it in your budget process, or anytime that you're implementing a program, really making people do the due diligence of the why. Why do you want to invest in this? And really, what do you truly need? And upfront working with the data team on what those leading and lagging indicators are going to be so that we can go back and really measure that a year or 2 years into the program. I think that we've been looking for a while on a way to really track these investments and to put them on a schedule for coming back, because it's very easy to come in, give a good sales pitch for why you need something, but then a year or two goes by and we don't go back because we're ready, we're excited about the next thing and the next thing. And this really has enabled us to create a process where we can really go back and evaluate how those things are doing a year, 2 years, 3 years later.